If I could have my dream vacation, where would I go and what would I do? I recently went to Kauai like 2 years ago, maybe longer, I'm not sure. I have a bad perception of time. And it was one of the most magical experiences of my life. I feel like being connected with nature so deeply because it's the most lush island of all of Hawaii. I think that I would have to choose either Kauai again because of how insanely beautiful it is, and how happy the people are there. And then if not, I really want to visit Asia and China. I know that eventually that's not the best decision right now to visit Hong Kong right now, maybe in the future, because I have family in Beijing. So that would be really cool too. But I'm gonna leave my answer as Kauai for now. If I could meet any 3 people, dead or alive, who would I want to meet? I think I would want to meet Marilyn Monroe just because she was such a controversial figure of her time. And recently there was a Netflix documentary that came out that encapsulated her scandals and life and who she was and, her eventual death. I thought that it would be so interesting to meet her and hear her story from her perspective and how she overcame such adversity and having truly all eyes on her because we didn't have, social media back then to make everyone have a broad spectrum of eyes on them. It really was so heavily placed on her. So I think I would definitely want to meet her. And then maybe Robert Williams, just because I love him and I adored his movies. I think that would just be really cool to meet him. For lack of a better way to say it, I really admire his work, so I think I'd want to meet him. And then for my final person, maybe Mac Miller. I think either Mac Miller or Prince. I think I've admired both of their work so much, and I think I'd most likely go with Mac Miller. But I'm a bit undecided on that one. I think that a musical artist that I really admire would be my broad answer. But I've admired Mac Miller's music so deeply and connected with it very personally myself. With Mac Miller's music, I think that he encapsulates people's emotions through poetic lyricism so beautifully. And I admire that in my own admirations to be a songwriter and just as a human because I connect so interpersonally with so much of what he says. So to meet him would be such an honor, and I think I can say among everyone here on earth that loves Mac Miller that we miss the hell out of him and his music. So rest in peace, Mac Miller, and rest in peace to all of those people as well. If I had to eat one meal for the rest of my life, what would I choose? Oof, that's hard. I feel like among anything else, I love Asian food. And I live very close to a lot of really bomb Asian restaurants. I feel like it would have to be sushi. Yeah, without a doubt, it'd have to be sushi. I love sushi so much. I feel like anytime I'm in a bad mood, if I have sushi, it doesn't matter anymore. So, sushi. And probably a mother load of ice cream or cookies, chocolate chip cookies to be specific. But yeah, that's my final answer. What advice would I give my past self? I think that I would tell myself to not be so hard on myself and enjoy my childhood a little bit more. Although I don't think that I would have changed anything just because I've learned so much from it. I think that the gravity that I gave, or, the weight in which I gave power to other people's perception of me and other people's words and opinions of me, it, really hurt me mentally. And that manifested in a lot of really dark, scary ways. And I am forever grateful for it because this made me who I am today to overcome that. But I would never wish it on anyone. So I think I would just tell myself to care a lot less about what people have to say because we're doing pretty good in that department now, I'd say. So at least we're here now. I think I would also say to just be more cautious about people's intentions with me, just because I think there's been so many instances where you don't realize that someone has very malicious intentions for you, and I think that I would want myself to be just a little bit more guarded, not to a point of shutting people out, but just look out for myself a little bit more. What advice would I give to someone who wants to be a social media creator? I would say, and I'm sure so many other creators can agree on this, but I think it's really important to realize that you should never change yourself for anyone in your life, and especially not for an audience of social media, because I think that you can find yourself in a really steep situation of, getting all of this validation from being something that you're not, and then you lose yourself very easily if you do that. I've seen a lot of people do that. I think that social media is such a beautiful way to, express self-discovery and try new things and go along with the trends and make it your own. I think that would be my best advice, is just, stick to you and be conscious of your own power, because I think that oftentimes social media can be very discouraging when numbers are down. Just know that that's not a testament to how awesome you are, or how great your content is. Sometimes we all have low numbers when there's really bomb content. So detach your own self-worth from your numbers. Do I have any hidden talents? I have been skiing since I could walk. So I'd say that I am an expert skier. That's definitely sort of a hidden talent. I can't really just do that on TikTok usually, or on any platform for that matter, although I would love to sometime. Beyond that, I think songwriting and public speaking and creative writing are kind of hidden talents of mine that I look forward to eventually sharing with you guys. I'm also very good at pogo sticking, which is super random, but I'm very good at pogo sticking for some reason. So those are my hidden talents. Have I ever seriously considered quitting social media? I think that it's always been like a passing thought, maybe like for a split second. But I know many other people that have genuinely considered quitting social media. I think that I can say with confidence, I've never considered quitting social media. Now, does that mean that there haven't been times where it's been difficult? It's difficult all the time. It's just our job to make it seem like it's not. So yeah, I would say no. I love my job. I love being able to have a platform to speak to people around the world and be 110% me, unapologetically. What are my favorite movies of all time? I'm actually going to a outdoor movie theater tomorrow night to see this movie because I love this movie, but I don't know if it's one of my favorites, but I have so many favorites that I'm just gonna say this one, but La La Land. That movie lit fireworks off in my brain of, my dream to be an actress myself, and it's a movie talking about that, and the cinematography and the acting among Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling is just riveting. It's more just the imagery that was so explosive and magnificent to me. I'd say that one, and then also the Harry Potter series, because I'm a huge, gigantic Harry Potter nerd. I am Slytherin. Hate me, love me, we'll figure it out later for that. And then I think that my final favorite movie is Endgame, I'd say, or, there's just so many DC and Marvel movies that I'm madly in love with that it's hard to pick one. That's like picking a favorite child if you have a kid. Like, you can't do it, so it feels wrong too. But yeah, I'd say that those are like the first three that come to mind. Oh, and also, if not something from the Marvel and DC universe, I would definitely have to say Spirited Away, because I love that movie. That movie is so near and dear to my heart, my childhood, and Studio Ghibli is incredible. And I really want to go to Japan to visit Ghibli World, so that does exist. You should look it up. What is something that people that follow me don't know about me? I think that oftentimes people perceive me as sort of like this darker, spooky, kind of like trying to be all, smoldering and all of these things. But in actuality, I feel like and I think that my friends would agree with this, that's also why I'm saying this, is I'm a super bubbly, very outgoing, very bright spirited person, although I sometimes look like a vampire, and by sometimes I mean all of the time. It's actually very bright and happy, and it's quite the opposite of how I often perceive myself, or portray myself, not perceive, but portray myself on social media. But yeah, I'm a super bubbly, happy person. I think that sometimes people don't know that about me, so hopefully I can show more of that as time goes on, because I'm not so scary, I promise. I won't bite. What is my biggest pet peeve? Chalk. Oh my gosh, chalk makes me so upset. I don't know why I have such a physical hatred reaction. Like, it just makes me shiver, because I hate chalk. I don't know what it is, the texture and just a chalkboard. Oh yeah, if you can tell I don't like it, we'll leave it at that. I do not like chalk. What is one of my favorite birthday memories? Definitely when I had my birthday party, or sort of a birthday get together at the Denver Botanic Gardens. I'm from Colorado, so for those of you that don't know what that is, it's this massive, acres and acres long, and it's a giant garden, and it is so beautiful. And I am born in October, so it's fall time there, and there's so many beautiful fall leaves everywhere, and plants and pumpkins, and there's also a corn maze. And so there's a haunted corn maze and there's a night corn maze, and I brought all of my friends to go to the nighttime corn maze, and it's so spooky and so much fun to have strategy with your friends, and I would do that every year if I could. I'm a huge Halloween and fall fan, if you didn't know already. I eat, sleep, and breathe Halloween. So I would definitely say going to the Botanic Gardens and going to the haunted corn maze. That was so much fun. When did I first go viral? I would say my first viral video was a video that I did where I was voicing over Harley Quinn, where she's first introduced in Suicide Squad with Miss Margot Robbie herself. And I was just in my living room, or in my bedroom, something like that, and was just lip syncing her scene, and it got millions of views and reshares and duets, and it was wild experiencing that for the first time of, there are people all around the world voicing their opinion on me and, enjoying what I was doing. So ever since then, I think Harley Quinn has been a reoccurring theme in my page of people comparing me to her. And I'm not mad about it. So yeah, that was my first time going viral. Do you see social media being your long-term career path? I would say no. It's impossible to tell if social media will remain as prevalent as it is right now. But I mean, I started social media with the goal to get off of social media eventually and, pursue acting and pursue music and pursue public speaking and pursue maybe even writing a book or, fashion, designing my own makeup line. So many different facets of business and self-expression. I think were always why I wanted to start social media in the first place, was because, it's such a wonderful tool to do that and to connect with people and to help people and to discover myself along the way. And so, yeah, I think it will always continually be the same answer, that social media is not my final destination. And I'm very excited to share the other destinations, hopefully in the near future. What is my favorite holiday? I already said it before, or I've said it a million times, but Halloween. Oh, I eat, sleep, and breathe Halloween. I'll say it again. I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. I love Halloween just because growing up, it was always my one time of the year that I could just be unapologetically myself or someone else, or, the biggest, boldest version of whatever I wanted to be. And I think that I live by that today. And Halloween taught me how to do that. And I felt like I could be unapologetically anything that I wanted. And that's why I love Halloween, because it really taught me how to do that in my everyday life. And I love horror. I love a good spook. So they work in tandem. Who are my biggest role models? I would say without a doubt Lady Gaga and Rihanna. They're such powerful businesswomen, incredibly articulate. Their style is incomparable, and everything that they do, you see that they put their blood, sweat, and tears into it, and have always remained so kind and poised through all of the adversity that they faced with their fame and scandals or whatever it is. I think that they really exemplify multifaceted businesswomen. That's definitely what I look up to. All right, I think that is definitely enough questions. So yeah, thank you guys so much. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video, and I'll catch you on the flip side.